It's on.
All right, awesome. So I am Tommy DeMichael. I am the New England Regional President, which is very exciting. So Johanna, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I think you were the one I've been emailing with and talking to, so it's nice to have a face to go with the name.
Same here.
So I figure for right now, kind of how we'll do this is I'll introduce myself a little bit more, and Josh will introduce himself as well. We'll talk about briefly why we became regional officers, what the benefits were for us, give you our thoughts and reflections. Then we'll go over the packet. If you have any questions, I mean, it's just really, I want this to be kind of a laid back thing. I don't want anyone to feel intimidated in any way. Any questions, just really open dialogue. So that's what I'm going for.
Okay, awesome.
All right. So Josh, do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Josh.
Oh my gosh.
I'm the regional officer at large.
Oh,
And I'm in graduating May nursing program. And I don't know. What else did you want to know?
Awesome.
What are you learning as a regional officer? And
Sorry, I'm in the library right now, so it's.
Josh, do you want some help on this?
Yeah.
all right.
So one of the things that I really enjoyed about being a regional officer, number one, is the friendships. I made a lot of friends, which has been really wonderful. And not just people from Asnuntuck, but people from all over the state and throughout the region, and that's been really, really cool. I've also gained confidence, which kind of helped me want to take advantage of other opportunities that were presented to me and that were, things that I would have liked to have tried but didn't think that I could. And then I did it, and I was like, wow, I really can do this. This is really kind of cool. And so in that respect, it was a huge confidence booster. I started learning different things. And because I took advantage of some of those opportunities, I was able to meet other people throughout the region. One thing I did was I went to a Institute of Politics for Women's Leadership, and that was in New Hampshire. And a few months later, I spoke as the regional president for Phi Theta Kappa at the chartering ceremony for the Community College of Vermont. And I saw somebody there who was in that program that I went to in New Hampshire. And that was just so cool because, how often can you say you get to do things like that and have that kind of experience? Also, Michelle and Susan, the advisors, the coordinators, they're pretty cool. But you knew that. The traveling, I really love the opportunity to get to travel, to go to other places with my friends has been really cool. In addition to the confidence, I think soft skills and public speaking and presentations and resume building. All of the things that I've done, I can put on a resume and just really kind of beef it up. And I also think that at first, it almost seems like it's chore. Like one of your responsibilities as a regional officer is to give presentations at the regional conferences. And so that can be really intimidating. But as I've done it, I'm like, this is actually really cool. I'm in charge. I get to call the shots on this and talk about something that I know a lot about. And the best part is you get really cool shirts and stuff. And so that's always fun. So I think that's my my spiel. If Josh, I don't know if you have anything you want to add.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty new. I haven't gotten to do anything big, but I've got to be in the meetings and these webinar things that we keep doing. That's it. I just finished my scholarship PowerPoint today. I don't really know what else.
But I think those meetings and the webinars and the calls that we do is good practice for communicating in the future for, any business kind of endeavors that we may have, any kind of web meetings, maybe even you as going into nursing, you might have to talk to a doctor or a different office or something that's far away from you, but okay, hey, I've done Zoom calls, I've sat at the conference table and hashed it out with people for 4 hours trying to figure out what I want to do. And, I think just even those small things, people might have anxieties coming into it. And as you do it, you're like, I got this.
Yes, that comfort makes a big difference, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So, do you have any questions so far?
Yes. Well. Okay. My biggest thing is how much time consuming is it? I know that we have a lot of events, so they come and they go, so it's not too much. But other than, I want to say, the seminars or the regional, what else is there other than helping your chapter? How would you do it as a president where you're working with all these different chapters in New England? How is that?
So what I would say to that, maybe a long-winded answer, but as far as being involved in your chapter, I think that's a really big part of your experiences and your time commitment. I would say, a lot of the planning things, like, for example, this, other web meetings that we've had, regional conference, all of these things, we know far enough in advance, and we really try to coordinate schedules so people have the ability to plan and set aside the time. So it's not like, hey, we're doing this right now, you need to be here and you need to be on the ball. It's not like that. Michelle and Susan, additionally, they've been a huge support, especially for our region this year. They really do a lot. Oh no, I lost you. Are you there?
Yeah, we hear you. I see you.
Okay. You see me? Okay. I don't know what happened. Okay. All right. So yeah, they've been a huge support for us. But I think time-wise, as long as you kind of think about the things that you have headed your way, you could devote, a few hours a week. Some weeks that you don't have a whole lot to do. Other weeks you might be like, okay, I need to do XYZ emails. I still need to email Michelle my biography for a script, even though she asked for it a few weeks ago. Stuff like that. But it's really manageable for sure. And I would be very honest with you if I didn't think that it was a manageable thing. I think a lot of people are intimidated that this might be too time consuming, or I'm not cut out for this. And really, people should just give it a shot and take advantage of it. And I think with proper planning, you'll see that it's not bad at all.
Good. Just make sure it's done.
I just went blank for a second.
That's okay.
And you're going to the regional convention, so that's one of the main meetings. The other meetings that they go to the international, so Nashville, and then they go to Honors Institute, which will be the first week of June, which is at Loyola University in Chicago, Illinois.
Honors Institute is one of the coolest things I think I've gotten to do. I am very jealous that it's in Chicago this year because I really love Chicago and I would love to get to go. But the year I went, it was in New Mexico, and that was just awesome. I met so many other people, and even at the following international conventions, I saw people that were in my groups. I think she's Division 4. International vice president. She was in one of my breakout sessions, and I was friends with her, and I thought it was really cool to see her on stage at international running for one of the vice president positions and say, hey, I know her. I've talked to her on Facebook. I have this network now. And I think that's really cool to be able to get to see and do and be a part of. Also, the speakers are phenomenal, and on an intellectual level, it really makes you think, consider different perspectives, and give you maybe career ideas. I think a lot of the things that I heard and saw were really inspirational for me. And I actually have a running list of like speakers that I've heard that I want to buy their books, or this was really cool and I need to follow up on this, because it really makes you think and consider other ideas. And that's really, I think, a huge part of what Phi Theta Kappa's goals are too.
Absolutely.
The question for Josh, what have you gotten from your positions? I know you said you're new and you haven't really did too much, but what did you get, even at the short amount of time that you've been involved? Kind of put you on the spot.
I really haven't done anything
Yes.
big.
Well, we had our training a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, we did the training.
And you're doing this now.
Yeah, we're doing this now. But
Are you going to Nashville?
Huh?
Are you going to Nashville?
Yes, I'm gonna go there.
Awesome. And what are you planning to get from the experience? What are you planning to gain from the whole experience there?
I have not been. I've only been to a regional conference, and I was an regional officer at that. So.
How was it?
It was good.
Was it nerve-wracking? Because I'm nervous and it's my first one. So I'm like shaking.
No, it was good. Everyone's really nice. It's almost kind of, it reminds me of like a Comic-Con where everyone just gets along.
Awesome.
There's a lot of love that goes around.
Okay, that's awesome. So what is I know there's 3-4 different openings at the moment. What are the significant difference between all of them other than the title themselves?
Tommy, you want to get that one?
Sure. Okay. So in the packet, it does distinguish some of the differences. In the packet or the Constitution, some of the differences between each of the positions. And really, I feel like in my experiences, the lines have been a little bit blurred because we do work so well as a team. It seems like a lot of the time, if somebody's slacking on one end, somebody else will pick it up. One of the things we talked about was potentially having somebody fill a social media role. Is that still in the works for this upcoming? That might be a responsibility for one of the officers. So I would say, yeah, just kind of, usually northern, central, southern, they have separate regions. So if the school reaches out from one of those, let's say Maine, northern DP would go there and say, hey, I'm here. I'm going to talk at your induction, one of those kinds of things. As president, you kind of are a little bit all over the place, which is fun. Like, I like that. So, yeah.
You actually go and speak at different campuses?
I have, yeah. I've been to a couple of schools in Massachusetts. I've done a few ceremonies here at Asnuntuck, Community College of Vermont. And when I did my speech for running, I was at Community College of Rhode Island. So I've been to a few different places. I've gotten to go to a few schools meetings, and that's like if they ask you to, you offer, and they are very, very gracious to have you. It's really kind of cool. Like, people will hug you, and you're like, I don't know you, but this is awesome. So it's really cool.
All right, so you mentioned speaking.
Mm-hmm.
What is that all about? Because I just got sweats.
Okay. So if it makes you feel any better, which it probably won't, but the first time I ran for a regional officer position, I was overtired, cranky. I don't think I felt very well. I was shaking, and I didn't want to do my speech because I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. I can't talk in front of people. My college president's there, like, oh my God.
It was at Asnuntuck, of course, right?
It was at Asnuntuck. And I lost, like, something happened where I misordered the pages in my speech, or I was missing a page. So I got up there and I, like, blanked. It was, like, the worst experience, maybe, like, 10 seconds of my life, which really ended up not being bad at all. Because now I'm just like, if that's the worst thing that happened, everything's just going to go up from there.
Right.
So, and just to kind of go on that too, is one, you think about it this way, people are looking to you for answers, so you're like the expert in the field. don't worry about being wrong. And if you don't know the answer to something, I don't know, I'll look it up. That's what Google's for. You know, just an honest answer, right? And when I did my chartering / induction for Community College of Vermont, first I had a speech like all prepared. And I got there and everyone was so welcoming and it was such a like homey experience. I was like, you know what, I just want to wing the speech. I really like being able to talk to people just on a like really casual, personable level. And just, it was so comfortable that, you know, with practice you get to that point and it's no longer intimidating at all. Just practice your words before you give your speech and you'll be good.
And even when you're up there, you're nervous.
Yes. Every single time it gets so much easier.
That's exactly what I was going to say, because you'll see it. The more you talk, you're going to be giving so many different sessions, it just becomes second nature.
I think you might have been at the induction for ACC last semester.
Yes.
I spoke there. And when I left, you know, I never told Coach this, but I was so proud of myself because I'm like, I think that was the best speaking engagement I've ever done. Like I looked up, I wasn't scared and shaky. I felt really, really good about myself. I actually texted my friends. I was like, I just spoke at school and I wasn't scared and I didn't fall and everything was good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really, and you just gain that confidence. That's the best part of, I think, this regional officer position. Makes a big difference for them.
Yeah, and people really do support each other. Like I support Josh right now, no matter what. He's such a happy person, right? And really, we're there to back each other up. So
how do you work all together when we're all from different colleges? Do you do a lot of Zoom meetings, or how is that you communicate the most?
Mostly Zoom meetings.
Okay.
We meet up a couple of times.
At my school.
Yep. Yep, we've met at Gateway and we've met at Asnuntuck. Those are the two main places that we've been meeting.
Okay. So
we'll do like a Saturday training usually. The cool thing about Honors Institute, they have a track just for regional officers now. So you attend with everybody else, but then you actually do a training with all the other regional officers all over the United States.
Awesome.
So it's really cool. Like they do a couple different special activities during the whole time they're there. And then we finish off the training when we come back from there and we do like our mission statement, our goals, things like that.
Okay.
Do you have a particular position that you're thinking about running for?
No, not really. I do like president. However, at the same time, I'm like anxious where will it be too much. So I'm like, okay, maybe vice president. I'm still there, but I'm not there at the same time. But I am also the type of person where I like to take charge and help others. So I'm going back and forth, and I haven't read the descriptions on. Well, I read what was on the PTK website. Mm-hmm. So I kind of got like a summarize, but I haven't read the packet to actually look at, okay, this is what vice president does, and this is what president does, and where to go. But I do want to be involved. I like to be involved, but due to me being a mom, it's kind of hard to be at every single meeting. And that's one of the reasons why I asked, how do we communicate a lot? I can do a lot of these because it's simple. They go to bed, I can talk. And scheduling around, if it works where we can all come up with a time that works for us, then I wouldn't mind. And I would love the opportunity to go out and meet different people and learn from them. Because the one thing that I love to do is to learn. And I like to challenge myself and gain things through those experiences. So at first I was like, I think I like VP of scholarship. At the same time, I'm like, well, I want to expand my horizons a little bit. So that's why I started considering, well, maybe I should run, or I'm still iffy about it.
I go for it.
Yeah, and the schedule is very manageable. I mean, you already know when all the conferences are, And we kind of lay that out at the beginning of the semester. And then once in a while, we'll visit the campus that we're going to, like a month or two before. But we put it on a weekend when people can try to manage it with children, with the extra health care, childcare here and there. And then, yeah, I mean, there's really only the 3 main that we deal with during the semester, other than your training. And a lot of it is done by Zoom.
Awesome.
I'm not a parent, but as long as I've been involved with PTK, I'm pretty sure that like I said, for the period of my involvement, there has always been a parent or a grandparent, somebody who's a regional officer who has kids and those kinds of commitments, and they do it.
Awesome. That's encouraging. Yeah, other than that, I really don't have any specific questions other than, okay, what's the process? Kind of like, how many speeches will I be doing, or do I have to do only one? And different little details like that.
Okay.
For the most part, I love the fact that you were able to give me your insight of how it's been for you, especially the not so good moments. Like, I don't want you to sugarcoat it. I want you to be honest and tell me what this takes in the baking process.
Yeah. And I want you to know what you're getting into too. Like, it wouldn't be a very good leader move for me to be like, I never had anything bad happen to me and everything's gonna be like easy, because you learn by making mistakes, and that's part of the process. So, and I have no issues owning that. So, but my 2 big things that I will say that scared the bejesus out of me when I was running in this lovely packet here. One was the political rally. I'm like, what does this mean? Like, what do I have to do? I have to be sociable? Oh my God, Don't worry about that. Like, worry about your speech. And the speech, the really big thing to remember, and it does say it in the packet, but usually every year, people talk about themselves and they use it as more of a political platform. Like, I've done this and I've done that. That doesn't matter at this point in time. What matters is your topic that you're talking about and how it relates to global perspectives. So that's what people want to hear about. They want to hear that you can intelligibly talk about something, you can support it, and you can make your point in 3 minutes or less?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what you're really looking to hear, and that's what we're more judging you on. I think of it this way too. It levels the playing field for everyone. So even if you're a person who I have 0 previous student activity involvement, I have no clue what I'm doing, but I want to try this, that's awesome. You don't have to say, I don't know what I'm doing. Just talk about the honor studies topic. And as long as you give a really solid speech and, you talk about X, Y, Z, you're good. Like, that's what really the speech aspect of it's all about. Kind of like doing an oral presentation in class, but you don't need a visual.
Okay, that's what I was trying to get the concept. Okay, so it's basically do they give you a topic or do you select one?
You select it. So you have time to prepare what you want to talk about. It just needs to be out of the honors study topics. So if you want to do myth and reality or, whatever thing really interests you, and talk about that a little bit. I think I talked about plastic one year and how it was wasteful, and all the plastic that's been on the earth since the 18th century, or created since the 18th century, is still on the earth. That was something I'm passionate about still, and that's what I talk about. I'm trying to think what it was last year. Coach, do you remember?
I don't remember, because it's the same study topic. It's the same topic as what we have now.
I'm trying to think. It'll come to me as soon as we get off the Zoom call. I'll be like, oh yeah.
Do you have to do one every year, or is it just for running?
When you're running.
So once you give your speech this year, then you're good until the following spring convention.
Okay, and where is it that you present your speech? Is that like in front of a lot of people or just in front of judges? So I can prepare.
So it's in front of the attendees of this regional conference.
So there should be about 100.
It's not as scary as it's not that bad. I promise you, it's not that bad.
Okay.
Seriously, until your college president is out there and you're like talking. Oh, and just to add to it, he knew at this point, I think I was the speaker for his presidential inauguration. And I was terrified. I'm like, oh God, he's going to think I suck. Like, I was so scared.
Aww.
But it got better. So, you know, I don't sweat it. Just practice your speech before you go, especially if you know in advance that you're running and this is what you want to do and you have that time to prepare. That's huge. And even if they decide to run that night, no big deal either. Some people get there and they're like, you know what? This is something I want to go for. I'm going to run. I'm going to do it.
That's awesome. Cool.
And the winners are announced at the gala on Saturday night. And they're actually sworn in at the gala.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
So you have to wait for a little glitter.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Very
Okay.
fun.
I don't have any other questions off the top of my head.
Okay.
All right.
So if you can submit by March 3rd, that's ideal. So that way everyone can prepare. We can make sure that we have the correct time allotment for candidate speeches. And some people do decide to run the day up, but you know, the sooner you know, fill out the information, the better. Just like I said, so we can plan. And I would say that's probably the big stuff. You'll find that people are very, very supportive. I think people come into this really intimidated rather, and they shouldn't be. It's a really caring community, and it's about growth, and everybody there supports that.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in. Anything else anybody has they want to add or?
No?
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. It makes us feel like really good to see people are interested in this as something that they potentially want to pursue. And I hope that you do run. And we look forward to seeing you at the conference.
Thank you. I definitely considering I really do want to do it. I just would need coach, please send me the
Oh, no worries.
into it, and then I'll let you know whether it's via email, however you want, on what position, whether it'll be president or vice president.
Yep. And if you're looking at the vice president, I'd probably do the Southern, because that would be Connecticut, and you'd be able to travel at the different community colleges around Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
So you get to visit some of the ones, like one of our targets, we're going to try to get Capital. Capital Community College has not, and a couple others, the Goodwin and a couple others haven't had a chance to really engage in these last couple years. So we're going to try to invigorate a couple chapters. So. Oh.
I made sure I had all my PTK stuff today. I got this really cool sweatshirt. Shout out to QCC Worcester. I have your sweatshirt. So there you go. Represent.
Very cool. So yes, that would be great.
Awesome. Thank you so much again. I
All
appreciate
right, thank you guys.
All right. I hope everyone has a great night.
You as
We'll
well.
see you all soon.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.